Greetings, disciples. It is I, Hand Jesus, and today's video, a scuffed review of Black and White 2. Welcome back, everyone. I'm the newly branded Only Shaz. I've given myself a new coat of fresh paint since, in my opinion, the Seth impersonations were a bit disingenuous. So, the topic of today's video? Morality. As we all know, our morals affect how we act as mortal beings. Do we offer the old lady our seat on the bus? Or do we rob her for her cake recipes? What if that isn't extreme enough for you? What if you wanted your own moral code to affect hundreds? What if you wanted moral decisions that were created by what can only be described as a completely blazed entity? Well, I have good news for you. Please welcome Black and White 2. Black and White 2 is a very long title, so from now on, I'll refer to it as BW2. BW2 is in fact a sequel. However, I don't have the perseverance like Mr. Mandalore does, so I won't be doing a review on that. Fuck trying to get that to work. In BW2, your disembodied hand is worshipped by the Greeks as a divine being. You start the game as your city is being torched by the Aztecs, no less. I suppose they got tired of waiting for the Inquisition to come to them and made one of their very own. Yeet your followers into a portal before your city gets obliterated by an ape who blindly disregards OHS standards. For example, you know those really cursed WorkSafe ads from the mid-2000s? Yeah, something like that. This Aztec creature summons multiple volcanoes in your city, effectively turning it into Fantasyland Pompeii. The last remnants of your people are brought to a safe haven, an island controlled by the bloodthirsty Norse. This is where the game finally gives you full control of the construction of your new settlement, letting the game proper begin. The gameplay is a mix of RTS and God game. As a god, you have the ability to guide your followers to construct new buildings as well as gather resources. Best of all, however, they can provide you with mana. Mana is used for miracles. Miracles are used for great benefit to your villagers or for great misery to your enemies. You can also interact with the world around you, dropping off resources into your storehouses or sacrificing your villagers into your altar. Your general goal is to take control of the current island's villages, either by influence or through conquest. Completing islands, as well as different side quests, rewards you with tribute. This is a resource that you can use to purchase different miracles, buildings, and lore books. The more structures you build, and how impressive said buildings are, affects how much your village's sphere of influence grows. Your sphere of influence is the physical representation of, well, your influence in the current land. Also, building an impressive enough village will cause neighbouring villages to migrate to your thriving metropolis. While BW2 is partly an RTS, you will soon come to realise that the strategy part of real-time strategy quickly dissolves into how many amphitheatres can I fit into my village's sphere of influence? As well as your villagers, you also start the game with a creature, the race of which you choose at the start of the game. It's your job to teach this poor creature the difference between right and wrong. I suggest, for optimal results, enforce productive habits, such as eating villagers, shitting in granaries, and committing war crimes. Throughout the game, your creature will grow, both in the skills you've taught him, as well as his size. Your opponent may also have a creature, and while I don't usually condone cockfighting, this shit is a goddamn spectacle. Just make sure you walk him every once in a while and get him to eat rocks. Wait, what the fuck? I don't know, I just make him build shit, occasionally pat him and get him to eat enemy villagers. On a side note, these fights look fucking amazing. So far, I've just been talking about how to take over the world by building a fantasy Las Vegas. What if that's just not how you operate though? What if your inspirational figures are a little edgy? If your blood boils the moment you hear the words Geneva Convention, then dear viewer, we have options. Build an armory, arm the Greek men to make the historically accurate Gay Brigade, and then decimate your enemies with the power of the Alphabet Mafia. Capture enemy villages, slaughter enemy armies, and force their citizens to become your citizens. How does a soldier capture towns in BW2? Well, by blowing raspberries and shaking a fist angrily. Truly the most ruthless of Spartan strategies. Oh myself, how terrifying. Also, your creature can tag along with a friendly platoon. Just be aware of friendly fire. Now, as you've probably guessed from the intro, if you're not a dumbass, this game has a morality system. Though now's a good time to mention that this game was created by the same man that made the Fable series. This morality system is as bizarre, broken, and downright scuffed as Fables is. Look, at first it starts out fine. Healing your villagers is good, throwing rocks at their houses, bad. Okay, I get that. But you're seriously telling me that hosing down an enemy platoon with a minor case of, meteors is as deplorable of an act as tossing my villagers into the fucking ocean? That's bullshit, and you know it, game. Those villagers had it coming. They should know better. After all, there's still unbuilt temples in my capital. Fucking villagers. While exploring the island, you may come across side objectives. Completing these will give you tribute. Most of them are pretty simple. Some of them, however, will make you question your very existence. There's a particular set of side objectives that make up my living nightmares. A group of Norwegian brothers want you to chuck barrels around so they can make their signature brew. Now that's not too bad. Oh, and they sing a similar jig to the people wanting a boathouse in Black and White 1.
Nation is brewing this notion, got barrels here on the sand. Will you help me throw it to my brother on the other land?
Some janky throws, but whatever. A couple of islands later though, they want me to throw barrels into wooden pylons. This is where true suffering truly begins. The act of throwing in this game is an utterly infuriating art. Too little momentum, the object slips out of your hands like it was made of Vaseline. Too much momentum and an object is thrown at 5 times the speed of light, instantly breaking atmosphere and giving someone a very bad time. So with a physics system that could be this janky, what would really make this side objective more enjoyable? Let's give them a time limit. Oh, and if they miss too many throws, they have to start the quest all over again. The game design, I love it. It's so good. Give me more. Another fun side objective is having to help a coven of witches on the second last island. You have to find the last ingredient in their vile alchemic concoction. What's the ingredient, you ask? Specifically, and I stress this enough, specifically a 21-year-old male. How was I supposed to know this? I didn't. I had to look it up. How do you check the age of villagers, as it's never been explained or even brought up ever in any islands prior? Well, guess what? That's something I had to look up again. The absolute worst part though was that I had to wait 3 real-life hours scanning around my village for a dude to age up just so I could throw him in a goddamn cauldron. It's okay. It's okay. The bad game design won't hurt me. Now, before I blow a blood vessel, I want to talk about something that makes this game great. It's not the mechanics. No, they're hella scuffed. It's the atmosphere and the early 2000s charm that permeates the game. There's something almost zen about watching your small village grow into a sprawling metropolis. You can even zoom right down to a villager and just watch them go about their daily business, even if on full zoom your villagers look like they've just taken a cocaine suppository. Now to talk about a segment of the game that I had to add into the review, because I saw what Black and White 1 did. It's the music. Yeah, so problem here is that I was gonna say something about how the music's really nice, but kind of generic, but it fit the general theme of the game. Then I checked out what Black and White 1 had, and holy fuck, we've been robbed. So here's the neutral theme for the Norse in Black and White 2. And here's Black and White 1's neutral Norse theme. Look, I won't hold my breath for it, but can you pick which one I like the most? One reminds you of mysticism and magic. The other sounds like Narnia's PlayStation 2 is being switched on. Gosh, Black and White 1 even had a creature theme. Like, have a listen to this shit, it's great. Well, that's like if Jesus composed the Unreal soundtrack. It is fucking spectacular. Now we have to talk about something that's not so spectacular. The voice acting. Well, it's quite something. Yeah, no, it's quite something. Have a listen.
No. Focus your chi, student.
My poor Dolly, you look so poorly. What on earth is wrong with you? Ah, oh my.
I mean, look, it's supposed to be a bit more goofy, but, some of the performances are, interesting is what I'll say. This is most obvious when you're inspecting your city from on high, hearing the constant complaints of your villagers getting beamed directly into your ear. It's like, okay, no, fuck off, God is taking a smoko break. There have been times where I've gone to gently drop off a group of villagers into a field so they can toil my soil, only to slightly nudge the mouse too hard, tossing them all into the air. They crash into the ground, breaking all their bones, rupturing all their organs, and dying instantly. The rest of the villagers riot when they hear of these slight whoopsies, causing them to scream with such a volume that it instantly obliterates my eardrums. Enraged by such pain, I then proceed to engulf my entire city in flames. These two, though, they're pretty good. Pretty alright. I'd even say poggers. The screams of the damned isn't even my biggest complaint. No, that honor belongs to beating the game with a high morale. If you want to be a good boy, which is spending your TikTok fame to influence an enemy village, be prepared to hurry up and wait. The amount of time spent capturing a town through influence is utterly, soul-rendingly slow. You could live through 2 ice ages and still not be influential enough for the last village. You could imagine my dismay when I get to the final city of the final island and see that it has incredibly, ridiculously boosted stats. The slow grind of getting enough resources just so I could squeeze in an extra amphitheater into that tiny little outcropping of land I have. Oh my god, it almost made me want to, 360 quick rope. Anyway, okay, truth be told, I've been so affected by this monotonous fucking gameplay that I gave up even trying to do an evil run. Yep, that's it. I'm done. I'm all burnt out of this Machiavellian morality hell. You know what happens when you win? Your advisors go, "Congrats, you win. There might be a sequel. Also, click on the golden scroll to continue." You click the scroll, and the ultimate "you just activated my trap card" move. The game starts from the fucking beginning. Thank you for enduring this shared hell with me, through its deceptively pretty visuals to its outdated mechanics. I'm not popular to get this game on sale, but doing a quick Google search will tell you that no one sells it after Lionhead was absorbed by the great and powerful EA Games. They're saying should be challenge in business ethics. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Yeah, look, if you see a flip-flop of quality during the entirety of this video, this has been like an 8-month project for me because, well, again, the reality of being a YouTuber kinda hit me hard.